It's Whitney Simpson coming at you with an eyeshadow tutorial. Now, it has been a very, very long time since I've done a makeup tutorial, and there's been several reasons for that. One, my skin has been giving me a fit, and I've been hiding behind that. Number two, once you get out of the habit of going live, there's like all the imposter syndrome things that like set in, and so I'm trying to overcome that today. So when you hop on, say hi. We're gonna chat eyeshadow. We're gonna talk a 4-shadow look. I did this look the other day, just randomly putting colors together, and I fell in love and I had to share it. So we're gonna use these colors right here. So I have, these are all colors by Saint. I can link the palette, or you can comment the word eyeshadow, and once I post this video, I can send it. But I've got Drift, Stay Golden, Lullaby, and Revival. Just a really good fall palette. Now, when I do my eyes, I use this brush right here. This is the eyeshadow brush by Saint, a double-sided brush. Reason why I like it, it's got a nice fluffy blending in, but then it's got also a more dense end. Now, guys, this is a super dirty brush. So we are just gonna clean it off real quick. I've got some instant dry brush cleaner. So I just spray it on a microfiber cloth and do this. Now with eyeshadow though, you don't have to clean your brushes as frequently. You can if you have one of those like cute little brush cleaning tiles or a sponge to clean it off. You can do that and it'll knock the pigment off your brush, but we might as well just clean it off while we're here. Okay, so I have this right here. I've got my palette with my eyeshadow. Now on top of my palette, I have my face makeup. I actually use one of my face products before I put my eye makeup on. I actually use my concealer product. I just put it on with my finger, you guys. So I just literally do this little number right here, put a little concealer on first, one that just kind of neutralizes everything. Now, any discoloration that I have on my lid is gone. And also it's a little bit tacky. So it's gonna help my eyeshadows stay in place and kind of prevent, have you ever had like by the end of the day, there's like a crease or it kind of moves around on you? We don't want that. So by putting a little primer on that's a little bit tacky, it's gonna hold your products in place. Now, how do I do eyeshadow? You guys, I have a whole course that I have created on eyeshadow, on how to apply anywhere from 1 to 4 shades, but we're gonna specifically talk 4 shades today. If that seems a little bit daunting or overwhelming with kind of this method that I'm showing you, you can stop at any point and you'll have anywhere from 1 to 4 shades on your eyes. All right, so let's talk first. What do I have for the colors? So remember, I'm using these 4 colors right here. I have 3 matte shades, which means they're flat shades. There's no glitter, no shimmer, no sparkle to them. And then I'm using 1 shimmer shade, which means it has a little bit of sparkle or shine. I don't know about you. Comment on the video. Are you a matte person? Do you love shimmer shadows? Do you wear both? This look is gonna have both. Now, for my kind of method when I do my eyeshadows, I start from lightest to darkest in terms of my matte shades. So if I have these 3 shades right here, I'm gonna start with this one because this is the lightest, right? And I would love to know, if you're watching, are you someone that wears eyeshadow or do you avoid it at all costs? If so, how come? Give me a little insight so that I can answer some questions for you while we do this. Okay, I'm gonna use this fluffy blending brush to start with this lighter shade here, knock off any excess. The reason why I use a blending brush is because it allows me to put a little product on at a time, meaning I don't like put way too much and then I can't blend it out. So I'm tapping into this color, tapping off the excess, and I'm looking in my mirror here so that I can apply my shadow with my eyes open. I start with it in the crease and then I blend upward. Now this first shade that I'm using, it's not gonna do a ton for the look, meaning it's a very neutral color. It's not gonna add a ton, but what it is gonna do is it's gonna create kind of a base for all of my other shadows to blend with, right? Remember, I put this tacky product on my eyes, and so this is just creating a nice base for everything else to blend, and then I push it upward toward the brow. We're gonna do that exact same thing with color number 2. So essentially in my little blueprint here, step 1 and step 2, are the same place. So I'm gonna take my blending brush. I'm gonna move to my middle shade here. You can tell this is a very well-loved shade. So this was Stay Golden. This is Lullaby, one of my absolute favorite shades. So I'm gonna tap with my blending side, so you can see it right there. Tap off the excess, and I'm gonna look in my mirror, and I'm gonna put this in the crease. And I'm just doing these like little windshield wiper motions, and then I'm blending upward. I never take my eyeshadow all the way up. Like, can you see that like a little line there? I never take my eyeshadow all the way up to my eyebrow because I want a little of that primer to show. What that's gonna do is that's just giving me a little lifted look. So I want a little bit of that primer showing underneath kind of the arch. So although I am blending upward, you see I'm not taking it all the way up. When you want to blend upward above that crease, like what I'm doing, oops, look, I got too happy right there. You're always gonna start in the crease and blend upward. Don't take your brush, and essentially did what I did, and stamp it above the crease to try to blend it out, because then you're gonna have a harsh blend, and you're gonna look like, what's the lady? I'm gonna age myself. Do you remember the Drew Carey show? And the gal had like blue eyeshadow all the way up to her eyebrows. Like, we don't want that. So we're gonna start with the crease and then blend upward. But again, remember, leave this little bitty space. And if you mess up, it's okay. We can go back in and create that space, but leave that little bitty space. I'm gonna take that same color, that Lullaby, and I'm gonna even stamp it a little bit in the outer corner here. Same thing though with my blending brush, so that I don't add too much. Can you use a more dense brush? Absolutely, but you're going to be applying a lot more product, and it might just be too harsh of a blend. So I like to use a blending brush that doesn't apply as much, so that it's a softer look and it's easier to blend. Look, we still have that spot where I messed up, but that's okay. We can come in, I can show you how to clean it up. Okay, so do you see how we have this like soft eyeshadow application? All right, I am gonna switch over to the dense side, and I am gonna tap into that Lullaby shade, and I'm gonna carry it underneath the eye. So I love applying eyeshadow under the eye. Basically what that's doing, do you see how it's creating just an ever so slight shadow? It's giving the illusion that I'm wearing eyeliner, and it's gonna help my eyes stay big and bright, versus if I use a harsh eyeliner on like the top lid and the bottom, that makes your eyes closed off and kind of small. I want my eyes to be big and bright. So I do this soft little shadow application underneath. Now I will say, my caveat to all of this is I always do my my eyes before I do my face, but today I just got out of order. It's totally fine. All right, so I like to do my brows, my eyes, and then my face, and that way I can clean up any mishap, but you can do that again at the end. If you're someone who likes to do your face first, you can take a little concealer, clean up, and do a few things. All right, let's move to a darker shade. So we have applied Stay Golden and we have applied Lullaby. We're gonna do Revival now. So here's where it gets kind of personal preference. I stick with the same brush and I stick with the blending side because it's a darker color. I don't want to put too much too soon. So like, watch this. Do you see how I'm just stamping? That's kind of dark. If I use the more dense side, it's really gonna pack on the color and you're gonna have to spend some time blending it out. Do you see how that's really dark? That's just applied with a softer brush. Again, if I used this side, it's gonna be really dark and I'm gonna have to blend this out. So I pack on a little bit and then I take my brush and I'm gonna look in my mirror here and I'm just stamping. I'm not doing anything special. Sometimes I'll swirl, but I'm literally just stamping kind of into my crease and just inward just a little bit. You wanna keep this darker color though to the outer 1/3, but we're just blending it out. So I'm literally just dispersing the color just a bit like this. And I'll tell you, if you are someone who loves eyeshadow and you are a frequent eyeshadow wearer, but you're like, something is missing, something is not the same, what am I doing wrong? 9 times out of 10, okay, maybe 8 times, it's that you're just not blending it out enough. You're not spending enough time blending. But do you see, like, I mean, I could sit here and just do this and blend it out for days. But do you see how we took it from that to that? You just have to take time to blend. All right, and again, that's just from stamping or swirls, but you're just gonna spend some time blending. And as the color gets darker, so like, let me come back to my palette here. This one's not taking as long to blend because it's a lighter shade, right? When compared to like this color, right? You can tell the darker colors are gonna take a little extra time to blend because again, you want this nice disbursement of product. And I will tell you, the first time you do this is gonna take you a while, I'm sure. Yes, absolutely. Because you're like, I've never done this before. But once you get the hang of it, like it does not take me this long to do my eyes. But when I want to explain it and I want to give detail and I want to show, I take a little extra time. But do you see how long I'm blending? Like a majority of my time is spent blending the outer corner. All right, take the same brush, flip it over into this dark color here, and I'm gonna make my under eye match my lid. So I'm putting that dark color just about a third of the way under the eye. And there we go. Now, here's the easy part. We've got this shimmer shadow here, okay? So this is Drift, one of my favorite all time. It's just a neutral shimmer shadow. It's like a champagne ivory. It goes with everything. All right, when I use shimmer shadows, I always apply them with my finger, and let me show you the difference. Here is a shimmer shadow. So we talked about that. See how it's got like some glitter to it? And then let me just show you a matte where it's a flat. So the other colors I've been using are mattes. There's no shimmer to it, right? It's just a flat shade. So when I use shimmer shadows, I always apply with my finger because otherwise the shimmer in the product, right? So the glitter, the shimmer, whatever you want to call it, gets absorbed by the brush. And so you end up wasting a lot of product because what you do is you tap your brush in, put some on, tap your brush in, put some on, and you keep doing this until you get the look that you want. But if you just apply it with your finger, all that product goes right on your eyes and you're not wasting it, and you get a more brighter lid. And I take this color about 2/3 the way across my eyes. You see how it's like nice and bright? And then I might see like, okay, let's see. Is there anything that's harsh? Is there anything that needs blending out? You know, make sure we've got a good blend here. Let's pretend we don't have, let's pretend like you took your eyeshadow up too high. How can we fix it? Well, I can grab an itty bitty brush. Now hold on, this is impromptu, so let me find an itty bitty brush. Hold on, impromptu. I gotta see if I got an itty bitty brush. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Oh, it's dirty, go figure. It's got black, it's got black on it. Okay, hold on, let's clean it off. And I'm gonna take this itty bitty brush and I'm gonna go back into my concealer shade, which was the shade that I used for, see how like I said, a little itty bitty brush? My concealer shade, which is the shade I used for my primer, right here. So I can take that little concealer shade on this itty bitty brush. I have to look in the mirror. And you can redraw that line. But when you go to blend it in, so let me redraw that line. And then when you go, so see how I've redrawn it? Use your finger. I like to use my ring finger and just pat it. Just like that. Now again, this is not necessary if you didn't take your eyeshadow up to your brow. But if you said, oh gosh, I blended it too high, then you can redraw. Now, if you are someone like myself who did my makeup first, I usually do my eyes and then my face. If you're someone like myself who does your face first, you can take a brush, take a little concealer shade right here, and clean it up. I don't like to do that. That's why I do my eyes first. I don't like to do it because I don't want more makeup on my face. But you can do that number right there, clean things up. I am gonna put, you guys, I know we talked about under here so that we don't have to wear eyeliner, but I do like to tight line a little bit. So I have this little flat brush here and some cream eyeliner right there. That little square is eyeliner. I like to do what's called tight lining, where I literally just apply it to my waterline. What it does is it gives the illusion that I'm wearing eyeliner. Do you see, like, now I've got this like little black line here, but it's not a little black line on my eyelid, but it gives the illusion that I'm wearing eyeliner. It makes my lashes appear more full. And I'll tell you a secret that I learned. If you are someone, look, I just got it on me. If you're someone who wears eyeliner heavy black on your lid and then underneath, that's a very aging technique. I don't want to be the one to tell you that. And when I say aging technique, it just makes you look a bit older. And so I am 38. I am old enough and I don't need makeup to make me look older, right? So I use this tight lining technique where I put a little bit in the waterline, and then I come back in with my eyeshadow brush and just soften it up. Now that got like a little bit heavy, right? And we're literally just going to my kid's softball practice today. So this is probably a little overkill for practice. But do you see how, like, I have this softer look now because I'm using eyeshadow versus a harsh black liner. Now I already have a little bit of mascara on. We'll put a little bit more. I just did that because when I was doing my other makeup tutorial, when I did my face makeup, but then you finish up with some mascara. I'm someone that does not have a ton of lashes, so that's why I do the tight lining, because I need all the help I can get to make my lashes appear more than what they are. They've gotten a little short and stubby. All right, there we go. Now that was like a fully detailed eyeshadow tutorial, start to finish. It does not take me that long when I do my eyes on any given day, but I wanted to give you details. I wanted to really break it down. I wanted it to be in real time, quote unquote, so that you could see all of the steps if you wanted to apply for shadows. So there's kind of my blueprint, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you have questions, please don't ever hesitate to reach out and ask. I would love to create a piece of content for you, something that answers questions for you. I don't do like high glam, cut, crease, fancy, these things. It's more something for the everyday person. So if you have questions though, I would love to answer them. And thank you guys, and I hope you have a blessed day. Bye.